It was supposed to be just another day. Another circle on the calendar, another 24 hours he'd quietly pass like he had so many others. But birthdays carry a strange energy, especially when your name is Yaman. They come loaded, not just with memories, but with expectations. From the media. From fans. From people who don't know you but believe they do. And somewhere in the middle of that noise, it becomes harder and harder to hear your own thoughts. He woke up early that day. Earlier than usual. It wasn't the sun that disturbed him. It was something else, a weight in his chest he couldn't quite define. Ken stretched out under the soft cotton sheets of his Istanbul apartment, the same apartment that, despite its beauty and design, often felt too large for one man. He lay still for a while, his eyes fixed on the ceiling as light crept around the edges of the blackout curtains. Outside, the city was already beginning to stir. Ferries honked in the distance, seagulls cried over the Bosphorus, and street vendors rolled their carts into place. But inside, silence. He didn't check his phone at first. He knew what he'd find: hundreds, maybe thousands of notifications. Some sweet, some ridiculous, all exhausting. Well-meaning fans would flood his inbox with edits, collages, and heartfelt messages. Brands would tag him in awkward birthday posts to leverage engagement. Entertainment pages would recycle the same "Happy Birthday Yaman" headlines. He appreciated the love, truly, but not today. Today, he wanted space. Coffee helped. Always. He padded into the kitchen barefoot, made himself a strong cup, and stood at the window overlooking the Bosphorus. The water was calm. Smooth. Silent. He envied it. He didn't realize how long he stood there, coffee in hand, until the steam faded and the cup grew cold. He thought of previous birthdays. The ones before fame, before the cameras, before every gesture became content. He thought of simpler mornings. Of waking up to his mother's soft voice calling from the kitchen. Of chocolate cake for breakfast. Of cards written in messy handwriting from childhood friends. But one memory wouldn't leave him alone. Demet. Her laugh in the middle of a chaotic set. The way she tilted her head when she listened, as if every word mattered. The inside jokes, the unspoken connections, the moments in between takes that felt more real than the scenes themselves. Their story was never officially confirmed. But everyone felt it. There was something more. Something precious. It wasn't just acting. They had something. And whatever it was, it hadn't ended with the final episode of Urkency Cuss. No matter how many oceans or headlines had come between them. He walked into the living room. The sun was now peeking through the curtains, casting a golden trail across the hardwood floor. And there, on the bookshelf, still stood a framed photo. Not a press photo. Not a magazine cover. A candid, unfiltered moment, him and Demet, both mid-laugh, caught behind the scenes by a crew member with a Polaroid. No one posed. No one planned it. It was just them. He didn't look at it often. But today, he did. He finally reached for his phone. 186 unread messages. He scrolled quickly, fan edits. Mentions from celebrities and influencers. A sponsored post by a gym chain he didn't even go to anymore. And then, one notification stopped him cold. At one Demet Özdemir tagged you in a story. He stared at the screen. No way. Not today. His heart beat louder in his chest. He tapped. It was a short video. 7 seconds long. A sunrise over the sea. Waves crashing gently in the background. No music. No filters. Just peace. And a caption in Turkish that read, "Batsi sabalar sadis jekmizi hatırlatır." Some mornings only remind us of the past. He felt the breath catch in his throat. No explanation. No direct message. No emojis. Just that. And the privacy setting? Only visible to him. Kim played the video again. Then again. A third time. There was nothing extraordinary about it, just a sunrise. But he knew exactly where it was filmed. Gotchek. A remote hill they had discovered together while filming a summer scene. One early morning, they had sneaked away before call time just to catch the sun come up. No cameras. No stylists. Just them, sitting on a rock, sharing silence and cinnamon coffee from a thermos Demet had brought. And she had said that very line that morning. Some mornings only remind us of the past. He had teased her then, saying, "Why would something new like a sunrise remind you of anything old?" She smiled and replied, "Because some beginnings look exactly like endings." He didn't understand it then. But now? Now he did. It had been years since that trip. They'd grown, changed, drifted. Yet here she was. Reaching out through a private story, with a message only he would recognize. She hadn't written, hadn't called. No emojis, no hearts, no happy birthday. But in 7 seconds, she said more than any message could. His mind wandered, not just to the sunrise, but to everything that came before. How she used to laugh at his strict diet on set, sneaking sweets into his trailer. How they danced backstage after rap, barefoot, tired but alive. How their on-screen chemistry blurred into real glances, real touches, real feelings. And then, how things began to shift. Different projects. Different countries. Rumors. Unspoken words. They never officially ended, because they never officially began. And maybe that was the hardest part. No closure. Just distance. Still, he had carried her in small ways. In songs he didn't skip. In memories triggered by the smell of her perfume. In the Polaroid on the shelf. And now, in this sunrise. He thought about replying. Typing out a simple thank you. Or maybe a photo from his own balcony that morning, a mirror of her sunrise, as if the universe had aligned them, even for a moment. But every draft he started felt either too heavy or too hollow. So, he did what she had done. He said nothing. Instead, he reopened the video, one last time, and took a screenshot at the 4th second. Right when the sunlight hit the edge of the sea. That was the exact moment he remembered loving her. Back then, and maybe still now. He set it as his lock screen. Not as a message. Not as a gesture. But as a quiet reminder that some memories don't fade. They wait. Later that night, he sat with his family, celebrated with laughter and cake. But when he went home and lay in bed, he played the story again, for the last time before it expired. And this time, he didn't feel alone. Maybe she was watching the same clip from her phone. Smiling at his silence the way he had smiled at hers. Because sometimes, the most unforgettable gifts don't come wrapped. They come quietly. In 7 seconds of sunrise. From someone who once knew your heart. And maybe still does.